All right, here we go. Here we go. What's going on? Facebook family, good evening to you. YouTube family, everybody that is watching in social media land. Whether you're watching this live or via replay, we greet you in the name of the Lord Jesus. Most definitely. Glad you're
Yeah.
joining us here this evening with this special lean in session, special occasion for the evening. As you can see, to the side of me, I have my beautiful, lovely. It's a whole lot of words I could use that I won't use to embarrass her. My better half, my rationales. Uh, Miss Jamie here is joining me here for the lean in session. We're going to do a couple of weeks in light of this being February, Valentine's month, relationship month, so to speak. So we're just going to do a couple of weeks and just talk about relationships and things like that. So when you heard me say different format, I didn't mean for good. I did not mean for good. The regular lean in session format will return in a couple of weeks. We've got some great guests lined up already. So definitely looking forward to that. But until then, we have this here right now. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and hit that share button. Let everybody know it's going on right now. Go ahead and shake some people, tap some shoulders, hey, knock on some doors. Make sure you're hitting that share button. Make sure you're hitting all of those buttons, like hearts, uh, mean face, cry face, happy face, laugh face. I don't care what you hit. Hit a button so that we can be relevant and so that we can influence the analytics on social media. Share this to people. Tag a name in the comment section. However you want to communicate this to people, please feel free to do so. So I want to say what's up to Elder Carey. He says, hello, y'all. What is going on, sir?
Hello.
Glad to see you in here, sir. Glad to see you in here. Hope you and the missus are doing just fine.
Can we pause to say how much we love Marriage Rocks?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I enjoy it so
Every
much.
week.
We've missed you, Elder Carey, being there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And ready for that saw cup.
Yeah.
Are you going to let me put you in whatever you want?
No.
Okay. He doesn't let me dress him. Ever. Like, I can't even suggest.
No.
I may say, like, oh, I like that shirt, but that's about as far. If I suggest something, he won't wear it.
Yeah. Well,
I did buy him some pink sweats that are so awesome.
I will rock those. Though.
Yeah.
I will rock those. What's up, little bro?
Hey, Mikey. It was good seeing you Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, man, we are excited about this. Again, talking about relationships, just kind of, we're going to be very transparent, very candid, yet respectful, though, of course. She's very, very different from me when it comes to these things. Opposite sides of the coin. She's more so off the cuff. I am more so kind of calculated as to what I want to say and what I think I need to say. So there's some, there's a little insight right there. How we operate over here in the Mustard household. So again, hit that share button. Make sure you're hitting that share button. Make sure you're letting people know that, hey, special occasion lean in session, you might want to check this out, especially if they're in a relationship. You definitely going to want to check this out because we've got some wonderful content to discuss here tonight on relationships, and I think this will help you. It's helped us. It's helped us, and it is still helping us. These are things that we consider, things that we have incorporated into our relationship and how we operate and how we do life. So this is not just things that we went and grabbed from somewhere, even though it's not a bad thing to kind of incorporate other ideas from other relationships into your own. That's how you grow. That's how you mature. I think a diverse kind of a palette kind of helps you communicate to each other better. What's up, Chrissy Chris? What you doing, girl? hopefully Nia is feeling better. We've been praying for her.
Oh, there's my friend.
Look at this.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I'm just trying to be like you, Crystal.
Look at these two right here.
I love her.
I know you do.
I really do. I love you, Crystal. If I hadn't have said it.
I know you do. She does. But yeah, man, we've got a few topics we're going to talk about here tonight that we think are relevant for every couple, every relationship, whether you've been in a relationship for 5 months, 5 years, 15 years, 25 years, 35 years, and beyond. One thing that we do learn in Marriage Rocks is that you should never stop growing.
Mm-hmm.
You should never stop growing, and you should never stop learning each other, which is a big aspect in the maturity and development of a relationship, a healthy relationship. Never stop growing together. Never stop learning each other. I think that's a big aspect that people kind of overlook and kind of, it's kind of an under the radar type thing that people really don't consider. We've got one of the twins trying to sneak around the corner right here. She got on camera Saturday morning, so she wants to make another appearance. So, what's up, Steve? My guy. Glad to see you, man. Hope all is well with you and the fam. No doubt about that. But yeah, let's jump right into this. Baby girl, I call her baby girl all the time. That's a habit. So if you hear me saying that, it's just a habit. So
what do I call you?
Daddy.
I get made fun of a little bit for that, or roasted a little bit.
And she's not even doing it on purpose. It's just subconsciously.
Yeah.
She just, and I didn't make her do it either.
Care.
So all the people out there, he makes her call him daddy. No, I don't.
He doesn't. Nobody makes me do anything.
I've never suggested it. She just started calling me that out of the blue. And look at Crystal, she knows. She just started calling me that out of the blue, and I did not fight her about it. Just, hey, let nature take its course.
Well, Uncle Daddy.
Hey, Uncle Daddy. That's an inside joke right there, y'all. That's an inside joke right there. But yeah, one of the main things that we want to discuss tonight, one of the first things, one of the more important things, I believe, is communication. Communication, I think, is one of the most important things. That's not supposed to be right. There we go. Communication.
I don't know what to say about that.
Communication. I think maturity plays a huge role in communication, one's ability to communicate and one's willingness to communicate, because as an immature man, again, this is a transparent space, a transparent session. As an immature man and immature men in general, we really don't like voicing how we feel because of how society has shaped our thinking and how society has shaped our perspective and point of view on certain aspects, even, especially when it comes to the emotional side. Mm-hmm. And so when we would articulate a certain way, if it comes off as vulnerable, we'll shut that down because somehow in our minds, we have this notion that it makes us look weak. Yeah. And so most men have poor emotional vocabulary. They don't know how to express what they're feeling. And generally what they use is anger. And anger is a mask for everything. If they're hurt, we want to express it through anger. If I didn't like what you did hurt me, I'll express it through anger. If I was embarrassed about something, I'll express it through anger. And so all of these things that makes us look weak and feel weak, we put them, or we mask it with anger. And so we have poor emotional vocabulary, and we really don't know how to communicate what we're feeling. And then we kind of hide what we're feeling, and we keep things bottled up. And it's like a bottle rocket. When you take the top off that thing, it just, because we don't know how to communicate. So I think maturity plays a huge role in communication. And generally, I'll say this because I know this to be true. Women are quicker to mature than men. I'm sorry, guys. We all know it's the truth. I know some people will say, no.
Mikey said absolutely.
But
I don't know if it was about that.
Women are generally more mature than men. They are. And so they are more in touch with their feelings, which means they are quicker to express. They will readily express what they're feeling. And men, we're like, man, I don't want to deal with all that. We want to sit in front of the TV and watch the game or go do something else rather than express what we're feeling, not understanding this helps you as much as it helps the relationship. It helps you grow as an individual, and you growing as an individual helps the relationship. What do you think about that? Maturity.
Well, I agree that women do mature faster, but I want to bring something up because like when we get in our moments of communication, women like to talk, but just because you like to talk doesn't mean that you can effectively communicate. I've realized that. I keep on looking at you and I realized that about myself. I like to talk something out.
Right.
But I understood in our relationship that I'm not near as good of a communicator as I thought I was. Okay. So I had to learn that about myself. Just because I liked to talk it out does not mean that I was effectively communicating with you. Right? You would agree with that?
Absolutely.
So, and then I had to learn also how you communicate and bring that out of you. And then I know we probably are going to move ahead a little bit.
I like that.
But I had to learn you. I had to learn your communication style and had to learn because I wanted to. I had to study just a little bit on communication style and realize that I don't know everything. That's hard to say.
Sometimes it
I
takes
said it slow.
Right. Yeah, you didn't act like you didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes you being in a relationship for you to see your flaws because you don't have any challenges. You have nothing there to challenge you, and all you have is you. Then you can create anything about yourself because there's no challenges there. There's nothing challenging you there outside of or challenging you to come outside of yourself. And so you can create whatever idea of yourself that you want because there's no pushback there, right? There's nothing there. But another thing is be clear. And that's to the giver and the receiver.
Well, women and men are just different. We think we're being clear and we're not. We're kind of going around stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. But to be clear is to make sure they understand you. That's one of the keys to communication is understanding. If they did not understand what you said, you didn't communicate. It doesn't matter how well you thought you were articulating your point or how well how eloquent you can speak or whatever the case may be. If you did not convey a thought, they didn't understand what you said.
There has been times just on the more practical side of it when I've sent you to the grocery store for butter and you come back with Imperial, which is not butter.
Right.
Okay. So I just assumed you knew that, right? Without being clear. So now I make grocery lists with pictures of what we want.
And that helps me.
And sizes.
And then it helps the both of us because I don't come back with something that she didn't want me to have.
Can we all agree that Imperial is not butter? The 99-cent 4-stick is not butter. That's
right. and that's a part of something that we'll get into later.
But he'll ask me sometimes,
right.
Did you ask me if I understood that? Did you ask me if that's what triggered me when you said that statement about making sure that we're clear and asking.
And one thing that I have started doing, if I did not understand her when I'm at the grocery store or I'm not clear about what she wants, what she's talking about, I'll send her a picture and say this.
Right. Okay. So
you want this.
Right. When I thought that we had almost mastered this a little bit.
Crystal cracking up.
I needed so Crystal knows. Right when I thought we'd have mastered
That's right, Miss Monica. That's right there. Yes.
Yes.
You're effective when the other person
That's
gets
right.
it. Absolutely.
And so I realized that just being right wasn't enough. I needed to make sure that he got it. But no, I thought we had mastered this. And so as you guys have probably seen on Facebook, we had our twins' birthday party. My husband hates him. So I sent him to the store to get some googly eyes for some horses I need to make.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent him a picture of the multi-pack because that's all that I could find, but I needed the larger ones. And I told him which ones I needed. I followed up the picture with I need the large ones if they have them.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't call me. So I thought, oh, he's got it. He come back with the multi-pack. I didn't need that. So that was a failure. I take responsibility for that. What say ye? Did you have a responsibility in that too from not calling me? We made it work.
I had a picture.
We made it, but I followed up with, this is not the size. It needs to be the ones like $50. So we're still working on that, but we are recognizing it.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
Is recognizing the flaw, because you can't change what you don't think you need to change. Right? That's the first step, is recognizing that there is a flaw, and then the willingness to change it.
Yeah.
You know, and so and that's how you grow. But yeah, be clear, the giver and the receiver. The one that's giving the information needs to be clear. And the one that's receiving the information, he needs or she needs to be clear. Whoever that is, they need to be clear also. Did you mean this? Because I need to know, I need to understand exactly what you meant, so that I don't go spend money and waste money. And then, you know what I mean? We have an emotional lapse for about 10, 15 minutes.
And I've learned something about myself and our relationship, that I don't always finish thoughts. I don't. And I did not know that until I watched myself back on a video like this, or I'm having a conversation in my head and I thought I had finished that thought and I'll just move on to something else.
And I bring it, and I wouldn't hesitate to bring it up to her and say, hey, focus. I used to use that word a lot, and I don't use that word anymore. Distracted. You know, stop being distracted. I would say that a lot. I don't use that word anymore. But Steffi, we love you, girl.
That's my sister, for those that don't know, Stephanie Shirey Bryant, that's commenting.
You got to spell my name right, sis.
He did. Yeah, you didn't spell that right.
But another thing about communication,
Elder Carrie said, glad it's not just them.
Try to understand each other. Now, that's an extension to be clear. Try to understand each other. But another, a flip side to that coin, trying to understand each other, is try to understand how this person, how they would communicate this, or how that, because sometimes we can just be so self-centered that we're not concerned about
small. Then don't ask you when you're watching a game.
This is what I'm talking about.
I'm learning.
Right,
okay.
Try to understand each other. We know. See, I know
we're 4 years into this.
That
right? So we're learning.
Right. See, I understand that there's certain times, or if she's doing a certain thing, that's I probably need to, maybe make sure I have her attention.
I'm just thinking of all the moments we've had throughout.
Right.
Hundreds of miscommunication moments.
Try to understand each other.
Yeah.
That's a big issue right there, because sometimes that's where the lapse in communication can come, is when you just don't understand each other. This person is saying this, but they mean something else. And you're like, well, you said this. And they're like, well, I meant this. You should know. You know what I mean? So try to understand each other. And that just goes with getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Getting to know each other. Study them is another thing. Study them, meaning know their emotional triggers. Know their emotional triggers. I know what triggers her emotionally.
So what is it?
All kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Like little stuff like, I could call diapers Pampers.
Yeah,
that triggers her.
It does trigger me because they're not Pampers. Pampers is a brand. Like Coke is a brand. I mean, everything's a pamper. Right. Give me a pamper all the time. It's a diaper. That's petty. We have fun with that. But
there's
sometimes, if I'm hot,
lightweight issue.
If I'm hot, that really gets on my nerves.
Right. See, and that's another thing. I know when she's hot, I know I have to approach her differently. Because when she's hot, she doesn't do well.
He's really
under quote unquote pressure. And so I have to approach her differently. I do. And because I understand her. Now, that's not a flaw. That's not a fundamental flaw, within her. It's just something that I need to understand, and I need to accommodate that as her husband, as the love of her life. I need to accommodate that and not just throw that flaw up in her face. I used to do that. I used to say, you need to learn how to control yourself under pressure. But
I do control myself under pressure. I just don't like being hot.
Right.
I turn into another person. I blame that on my genes.
Right.
Not my physical gene. I mean, not my genes you put on, but my DNA.
Yeah. But
none of us like to be hot.
Study their emotional triggers.
Yeah.
Study their emotional triggers. What triggers them emotionally? That way, you're not. I mean, you're not. It's, they call them landmines. You know where those landmines are, and you're not just stomping through, stepping on landmines all over the place. And next thing you know, you've turned the house upside down. Now, we've never done that because we're just. I guess it's because we're old enough. And we're mature enough not to, to get into it that deep. You know what I mean?
I wanted to.
Of course. Of course. No doubt about it.
That's hard for me to
Eminem, that's my boy right there.
I went into our relationship and marriage thinking I didn't want him to see.
Look at Steffi. She knows.
Yeah. Yeah. So you too, Stephanie. If I have a little too much sugar and my sugar raises and I get hot, then it's over. Mm-hmm. But I went into this marriage not realizing this, and Tony told me this. He said, you're not going to be perfect. And I was afraid, I guess, for him to see me not be perfect. Mm-hmm. And then the first time that we remember the family picnic that we had with the Watts and Efall, it was so fun. It was so hot. We were walking back to the car and I growled at you. I was so hot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I was like, he's seeing that I'm not perfect. And that was tough for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what you found out is life is more comfortable.
Yeah.
When you embrace your imperfection.
Like he didn't even, so much so that he didn't see me without makeup until until after the kids were.
And it took her some time to realize that I love her beyond. I wasn't in love with the makeup that she wore. It took her some time to realize that.
You ought to see me now when he walks in. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, Mike says, what about when they are mad and you're doing your music, trying to do something positive, but they want your attention? Yeah. You've got to learn how to balance that.
And women too need to learn that.
Well,
there's time, like Miss Monica said a while ago, like whenever women need to learn that when there's a game, just walk away.
Well,
but I
most of the time it starts with the man, mm-hmm. because you have to learn how to balance your time. Because if she feels like that, not all the time, but the majority of the time is because we haven't made her feel comfortable enough concerning the time that we give them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
that's something that we've talked about recently.
Absolutely. Yeah. When they are secure in that time, knowing that he's going to spend time with me, they don't care about you going to do stuff. I'm not saying that you're doing that. Mm-hmm. I'm saying this is something to consider. You've got to balance that time between time with your wife, time with your kids, work time. It's hard, and it can be a hard thing. But always ask yourself what's more important at this moment, because sometimes they may be going through something, or they may have went through something that day, where you are deep into what you're doing. Because I'm like that when I study, when I read. I'll be in here in this room by myself, and I will feel the need. I'm not done studying, but I will feel the need to get up and be done with it that day and go spend time with her, even though I know I'm not done. But I understand I can't let the night get away with me just doing this, leaving her in there.
You know, let me put some perspective. Mikey, let me talk to you about this from a female that stays home with children a majority of the day. I do work from home, so I do have things that are pulling on me. But I'm at home all day with kids, and I think mothers that have stayed home and working moms and can all relate to this. And sometimes husbands don't fully understand mm-hmm. or comprehend what goes on. When he walks through the door, I feel like my help has arrived. Now, I have to be careful with that because I don't want to start pulling on him. But we have recently been talking about him coming in, and he needs to study for his Bible study. I understand that.
I need to study, period.
But he's split between me, that, and the children. And the children go to bed at a certain time, and he'll get home a little late. So we've had to learn how to balance that. But as a female that stays home, as a mom that stays home, people are pulling on me all the time. And everyone, and then when he comes in, I want to be able to let him study in peace and not be a hag, for the lack of better words. But as his partner, we have had some conversations recently that said, hey, we need to balance this a little bit because your kids need to see you today, and need to spend quality time. And it's important to me, not only for him to spend time with me. I'll get that when he's done, I mean, I'll take that. Tony and I talk all day long, on and off, but the kids need to see him, because you're only home while they're awake for like 3 hours, so we talk about that. But I also want to nurture the call in his life too. I want to be a partner and not be resisting that constantly, and say, now if he's in there playing games by himself and stuff, like I'll say something about that. But that's, maybe that helps you as far as perspective.
Well, I have one time, because sometimes I'll be in there and I'll look at something, and that's part of how I wind down a little bit after being at work for like 11, 12 hours. And she caught me doing that one time. I was supposed to be in there studying. I was looking at something else.
I get it. I get it. I don't want to be that person. I get it. I get it. But
I just got caught in that moment doing that.
But don't catch me when I'm hot and kids pulling on me all day.
Right. And sometimes they just need, when they've been in that position, they just need an emotional connection from an adult.
Yeah.
They need some adult conversation. That's pretty much it, which is why she looks forward to going certain, like on Mondays, Yeah.
I mean, I have been a very strong person my entire life. I'd like to think I can be emotional sometimes, but I'm pretty strong. But man, staying home and raising kids, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
That weighs on you. And I think I'm in the process of.
Gotcha, Mike.
Understood. Okay. So I'm in the process of balancing my emotions, my life, my kids, to be the best for him, to be the best for my children, and be the best for myself.
Yeah, because sometimes when I come in, she's in mom mode and she's not ready for me.
Yeah.
And it's taken a bit for me. Again, this is transparency.
Yeah.
It's taken a bit for me to understand that, because I've been at work all day. And when I come through the door, I want to kiss and, you know what I mean?
Touching, grabbing, poking.
Right. I want to do stuff.
Here's the thing,
and she's in mom mode. And in mom mode, kids have been doing this
all day long.
So when I do this, she's like, And it's not her rejecting me. It's her. She needs to. It takes some time to flip the script. It takes some time to flip that switch to go from mom mode to, okay, now I'm ready for my husband. And it's not always the touchy. We'll get to that in a minute. That takes her there. Sometimes it's the talky, not the touchy that takes her there.
Ready for you can be a lot. Mom. So, yeah. No, but the moment that you were not to do that when you walk through the door,
she'll think something's wrong.
So, yeah, I am used to, my husband has spoiled me. I promise you, you can ask my family, you can ask anybody that's around us. He spoils me.
Yeah. And see, that goes back to knowing
I feel like
emotional triggers.
Yeah, I am so, you have always made me feel the most secure ever. And I didn't struggle with that before, but I'm just saying, like with you, I've always felt secure because no matter what I look like, this man is grabbing all the time.
And she's used to that.
Yes.
So if I switch up, if I change behavior, she's like,
so
it's a shock to her system. She's like, hey.
Yeah. So it is a shock.
Even so she kind of needs that.
Even if I'm being a little like a little princess and need to like chill out for a second. Cause sometimes I do just want to set down, after dinner or whatever. I don't just some quiet time. That's why I stay up sometimes so late. I may be exhausted, but it's the only time that nobody's up.
Right. Right. Elder Carey.
Oh,
He said, "This is awesome, making your wife."
yeah, he does. I need to brag on him for that. There is no doubt.
Yeah, and it comes natural. I don't even think about it when I'm doing it. It's just how I feel about her. Mm-hmm. It just comes natural, which is why it's been, as she's saying, so consistent in our relationship. She's come to, this is just how it is in her mind, and if it's off just a little bit, she knows. She's wondering, hey.
And most of the time, it's been because I've asked him, just give me a second, you know.
Right.
I can't see comments. I'm not. You're laughing, and I don't know what you're laughing at.
This right here. It's right there.
What?
Right
I can't
there.
see it.
I'll put them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's why I'm always looking over here to the side for people who don't know. They think look the comments that
I
show
got
up
you.
right here.
I don't know. I keep on forgetting to know where to look. I keep watching.
Yeah. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Thank you. All right. The next thing. Oh, that could start a fight. What are some of the things?
I don't know. You tell me.
When you think that, you say, "Oh, my, that could start a fight." The first thing that comes to mind, and you know this about me. I'm very simple. I'm very, very simple. It doesn't take a lot to please me, to get to know me. I'm very, very simple. The number one thing that comes to mind in regards to this is disrespect.
I was about to say that.
See, she knows that.
And can I say something though about this is kind of coupling the two or going back and forth. There were things that Tony saw as disrespectful that I did not know he thought as disrespectful that somebody else may not.
Man.
Because we come from two different. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't read the notes. See, that's I just made it. Anyway, so there are things, and there have been times where he's felt disrespected, and I'm saying, why? How? What did I do? There's been times where I have said, what did I do? Help me understand. Right. And because our communication hadn't, because developed. we hadn't, well, because someone wasn't as mature as the other one. He wouldn't tell me.
There was an unequal yoke.
He wouldn't tell me, and
I would give her the silent treatment.
So
this was way back in the day.
Yeah, he used to, man. And then I caught on, and then I finally stopped reacting to that. But
you didn't?
Well, yeah, you just didn't know I did.
No, you didn't.
Okay, let me say, you didn't know I wasn't reacting, but where it used to tear me up,
you stopped letting it affect you?
I stopped letting it affect me.
Okay.
I stopped trying to fix it when you said, just let me walk. Right. I'm just going to walk away.
And here's the thing. I wasn't trying to let it affect her, but that's how I would deal with it way back then.
And I learned that about you. Like sometimes when you acted that way, it wasn't because you were so angry and I didn't understand. I know that a man needs to be respected. I mean, I was raised by a powerful dad, and I was around brothers. So I understood men. I thought there was different things that would trigger you that I didn't know. And that took some time.
Right. In
realizing that sometimes when you would react that way, I know this may trigger you. It was fear of me not looking at you as the same.
Right.
And then I realized, I don't want to say you're scared because you're a grown man, but he was fearful of that. Sometimes he was fearful of losing me for whatever reason.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah. It can damage the relationship.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. It'll bruise the relationship because it causes fear on one end, and then it could cause resentment on the other end. So the relationship takes some major. Why does Grove call?
Oh, because school's out tomorrow, probably. That's
okay. The relationship can take some major bruises if you, for whatever reason, can't find your way out of that. Thankfully, we did. We found our way out of that, and it just makes you stronger. It just makes you stronger as a couple. And as an individual, it makes you stronger. So
can I say something right here? Because Miss Monica said something. Hey, Fee. Miss Monica said something about disrespect is huge, and I absolutely agree. And I know that where I was caught sometimes is the things that Tony thought was disrespect that I didn't think was disrespect, and having to learn that,
it has a variety of faces. Disrespect has a variety of faces because it could be undermining. It could be.
I'll give an example. Can I give one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was single for a long time prior to Tony, unmarried, and my dad is no longer alive, and he hasn't been there in our relationship. But I have 3 strong brothers that don't mess in our relationship at all. I don't think anybody mingles in our relationship. My mom thinks she's probably part of the house because she's here all the time, but she doesn't even get in our relationship. But sometimes I would call my brothers for something that I knew they knew. I had to learn this real quick. And I did not intend it to be disrespectful to my husband. Like maybe something that about the yard, or I don't know. I can't even think of something right now.
Yeah.
Something
manly.
Something manly. And then he said, well, how would you feel if I called one of my sisters and asked her to make a dish that you made because I like the way she did it better? I said, you know what? You're right. Examples work best for me. And so whenever he would point something out like that, I would try to fix it, and never make that mistake again.
Right. It was just it was undermining that's not intentional.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it is intentional, sometimes it's not intentional. Either way, disrespect is disrespect. That's why the Bible talks about women submit and husband love your wives, women submit to your husbands, because a man, I know you guys have heard this before, but you can never get tired of hearing it. Women need to be loved, men need to be respected. Men need to be respected, women need to be loved. That's just how it is. That's the way God wired us. Another thing that could start a fight is lack of communication.
Yeah.
Right? When there's no communication at all, that just causes frustration and friction, which at some point that friction there's going to be some sparks somewhere because somebody's not communicating the way that they need to, and you've got heads butting. You know what I mean? Because essentially it's lack of communication.
Yeah.
When someone, if you would have just said this right here, that would have been enough for me not to do this, because I went and did this, that messed this up, that messed that up. Now you've just torn my whole day up because you didn't tell me this, and now they're like, yeah. Because lack of communication. That's right, Fee. Friction causes fire. You get enough of that.
There you go.
Grinding. You get enough of that grinding. Hey, you're gonna get some sparks right there. You're gonna get some sparks. That is absolutely correct. So that's another thing that could start a fight. You got anything else on this?
No, you're doing good.
Disrespect, which is, again, it comes in all shapes and sizes. There's a variety of faces through which disrespect can be expressed. And again, lack of communication is some of the more prevalent things I could talk about or mention concerning what could start a fight. Another thing that she was kind of getting into, another thing that I think we need to take into consideration where relationships are concerned, is she was kind of getting into this culture and background. She was just saying that she didn't know what disrespect was to me.
Yeah.
And this is more so for us because we have a biracial relationship. Chris, if you're still on here, you know this to be true. Also, when you're in a biracial relationship, any relationship, the person needs to understand the background of the individual, because the background has a lot to do with the makeup of that particular person, with how they articulate, how they respond, how they interact, how they would approach life, how they do life, the decisions that they would make, all of that good stuff. Their background has a lot to do with the person they are. Culture has a lot to do. Culture really doesn't play a huge factor unless you're in a relationship like this, where you have two different cultures. Not only is she white, she was also raised in the country. So that's completely different from me being raised in the city. So I am more so inner city, urban. She is a small town white girl, she's going to see life completely different than I am. And understanding those cultures, or trying to understand those cultures, help the relationship. They will help sometimes we don't even care. We just want to push our stuff on everybody else. And I've always said this to her, especially in the beginning. I would always say to her, your world is not the world. I would always say that to her, because sometimes we're doing this vicariously. We're not intentionally doing it. we're pushing our ideas and our ideology and our
I
worldview
have to interrupt
on
you.
someone else, and we don't know we're doing
Worldview. Okay, I understand that. I understand that. But onions, can we go there?
That's not what I'm talking about.
I know that, but let me. I want to go there for just a second
Because
we had
to do with culture or background.
no. Let me tell. Hold on. I understand that. But okay, what I remember when he first started coming around my family, they had to learn Tony too. Even Georgia boy and Oklahoma girl. That's true. That's true. Now I was raised small town Shawnee Tecumseh. We weren't raised in the country. Like I didn't live the country life. We thought we were city for country people. Right. That's even weirder. Anyway, Tony, whenever he first started coming around my family, they loved Tony. But I started realizing as he started meeting my friends and family, church people, the way that we greeted people were different. Tony minds his own business because he stayed to himself. So he may be quiet around my friends and family, just trying not to get in their business and be polite.
That's a cultural thing.
And that's a culture thing. Right. That's because to me, and I had to tell him that was rude. Like my whole family at one point has said, like, does Tony not like us? Why does he sit there on his phone? Why is he so quiet? You know, and he's come out of that. He's learned that. But to us, we speak when people walk through the door.
Well, I do that too.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, you do. There's been moments you haven't because you've been in a game. If he's watching a game or a TV show, he is tuning you out. Okay. He didn't intentionally mean to do that. If one of my family members are on there, but anyway, he listened.
I think there's some conflation there.
Well, maybe a little bit, but we had to learn. And so I had to explain to him, you know, culturally what that meant to us. And I have had to learn on his side, you know, what that looks like and what's that feel. I feel like we've both done a good job. Yeah. Because.
Right. See, the thing is when you're raised differently, people don't automatically know that. So with the whole interaction thing, see, I was raised mind your business. You know, when it's just it's a cultural thing for me.
Mom said amen.
To see in my house 4 women conversing. It goes against the fabric of who I am for me to be all over there with them.
Yeah, I don't expect that. No, I think something's wrong. Well, no, okay, we were learning.
That's just not how I was raised. That's not how I'm built. I'm not built like that to just be in there with the women. That's just not me. That's not.
Okay, like okay.
And she would want conversation. And I'm like, man,
I just want him to be a part.
3 women in there.
I just wanted to.
What do y'all
learned? It's learning. It's learning. We're something that we did land on was church.
Right. Hold on. Another thing with this, with the culture and like I would already be in there, and they would be talking to each other. What am I doing? Minding my business.
It looked rude to me
because they're not talking to me.
And so I wanted to say, like, Tony, you know, like being like try to involve him in the conversation.
Come on, Miss Monica. She already know.
Yeah.
If you got
what'd she say? I didn't see it.
It's right there. If you've got 3 women in the same room with you and they're talking to each other, I'm not all in the business.
Listen. It's okay. So that was a communication point.
What they'll do is they'll ask me a question. And I'm all in my phone, and they'll say, "Oh, he's not even listening." No, I'm not listening.
Okay, yeah, he was. So,
see that?
That's right.
You see?
You guys. Listen.
Now you see culture popping up.
Yes, I do.
You see culture popping up.
I see culture, but what I'm saying is, I didn't want you to be in part of our conversation. Tony has a resting face that can look. All of my kids have it. All of my kids have Tony's look. Okay. So it was not that I wanted you to be a part of the conversation. What I wanted you to do was at least put a smile on your face and look friendly. You know? So he was being friendly. So I had to understand that that's not what
I wasn't intentionally trying to be mean.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm in my own world because I'm blocking out. When people are not talking to me,
right.
I'm in my own world, and she would want me to dive in immediately. What do you think about this? And I'm like,
no, I didn't know.
What are you talking about? And they think, different cultures think that, oh, that's rude. No, I'm just minding my business. That's it.
I learned. I know that now. But
yes, she knows that now. But that was a point of contention for a while because we didn't understand that, and nor did we even look.
Because I would see him go somewhere else and be the life of the party. Get him around his people. Life of the party. Front seat ain't taken to the back. Talking to the back seat. So he would get around his friends. I'm saying his friends. I didn't mean people as in a resting face. I didn't want it. I was trying to be clean there, Felicia. So I would see him get around. I would see him with my friends.
Michael, that's what I'm talking about.
But hold on, let's go a little bit deeper here. It was my friends.
I got some people riding with me now.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I get it. But I would see him.
Miss Monica, yeah.
Everyone smiles not the same. That's right. But my problem is he would smile differently to his crew than he'd smile to mine. And I get it. Let me finish. I get it. So it wasn't just because I wanted him involved in the conversation. I think I was trying to make him care about the people I was around, and he did, but he was just minding his business. He would go from straight face like this to one of his boys walk in. It was over. Like it was totally different. That's why I'm like, you want to see him in front of his friends. Like he's different. He walk in and you just the life of your group. Like it's.
What's up, Burley?
Oh, I love Mr. Burley.
Come on, Fifi. That's a comfort. That's right.
Yeah, it's a comfort thing. You're right.
It's a comfort.
You're right, Felicia. Thing. So I had to learn. It is, but it was yes.
Yeah, it's not meant to be malicious or anything like that. It's just a comfort. Everybody's like that to some degree.
Well,
everybody's like that.
Okay, and I had to realize my family's probably a little different. We could talk to a wall. We were raised around our elders. We were raised around my dad's barbershop. We were talking to everybody. You know what I mean? Like we'd greet everyone the same and treat everyone the same.
See,
I was looking at it through my eyes and not just yours.
Right. But see, the thing about it is, I was raised to respect your elders. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Right.
But speak when you're spoken to.
Of course, yeah.
So you don't just go and engage in conversation with people just cause.
Daddy, it wasn't just conversation. It's like saying hi. It wasn't just conversation. We're making it speak. We're making it sound
but like we're not going to chop it up.
I feel like we're making it sound like I was trying to push you to have conversation with a bunch of hens. That is not what I was trying to do. Was
Miss Sharon.
Miss Sharon. Tony Bell, go in there, honey. Okay.
Summer, what's up, girl?
Give me kisses and go back in there, okay?
Yeah. Okay. I think we found that happy medium.
Yeah, we did.
Where we again knowing your partner's emotional triggers. I understand what she wants, and she understands how I am, and so she's not expecting something in me or out of me that's not there. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up. Is we expect them to approach this situation or engage in dialogue and conversation how we would, when they are not who we are. They're completely different. They are their own person. And I think when we learn to expect out of them who they actually are, we'll be less disappointed.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're placing expectations on them. That's not fair to them.
That's not fair.
Right?
That's not fair.
That's not fair at all. And I think both sides does this. The men and the women both do it. And I think it takes you, you have to be intentional with stepping back and kind of evaluating that and judging yourself soberly. Be honest with yourself. Was I doing that? Even if you don't have to, verbalize your failure or whatever. Yeah. Just agree within yourself. Yeah, I was kind of messing up there. I was tripping. I need to get that fixed. And you got to be intentional.
I was real easy to do that at first. And I still am, I feel like, but right. Tony, you have really done a good job with that.
Yeah.
He's really he's allowed us to talk through some things. I have to brag. She calls him daddy. I do. I didn't. It's just something, Jamie. It's nice to Just not everybody.
Okay,
I am summer knows that.
Your mom said just greet. I greet everybody, but I think there's an expectation there.
Mama, don't get on him.
I think there's an expectation there for me to be something that I'm not.
There is, and everybody's learned that.
I have to be genuine. I have to be. I don't know how to be fake. I really
does
don't.
Not.
I don't know how to be fake. I will greet you, but I can't greet you with the fake big joker smile. Hey, what's going on? That's not how I act.
I appreciate.
I don't act like that with anybody. Now, when I'm dapping it down with my boys, there's a mutual agreement
you
there.
You want to see him on Domino night
because there's a comfort level there, and that thing is mutual, and you can't play that with everybody.
No, you can't. You're right.
You know what I mean?
I love that you are not fake.
I don't know how to be.
He is telling the truth. He is not fake at all.
That's right. It's easy to you can look at Myron. He said, "Preach." See,
Myron.
Again, it's an understanding. It's an understanding. That's all it is. That's all it is, an understanding. Look at the heart and seek understanding.
That's
Look,
right.
It's an understanding.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. There's really not you. Burley's like that.
That's right, Elder Carey. I can't look.
Tony is not Tony when the bones come out.
Yes,
no,
I am. You just don't know me to be that.
Yeah. So I see all this. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing different. You just don't know me to be that in that setting. That's all. I've been like that my whole life in that setting, because that's how that setting was presented to me. Right. So I've kind of embraced that. And if you've never been in that setting, you think, well, who is this guy? It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Where I come from, that's just how it is. What do you think about this, baby girl?
Which part?
Love language.
Oh, yeah.
Love language. I think you need to know. I think you need to study. I think you need to master your partner's love language. Mm-hmm. That's a huge deal in keeping emotional satisfaction at its height, physical satisfaction at its height. I think knowing their love language has a huge, there's huge implications there on the health of the relationship when you understand this person's love language and not try to force your love language on them. Love language is a big deal in relationships. I know hers, one of them is affirmation. I know that. I dote over her naturally because that's how I feel about her. And that just works well with her love language because that's her love language. For me to, again, dote over her, for me to compliment her and to make her feel secure. So when she walks in a room, she already knows how good she looks because I've told her time and time again how good she's looked. Me being, again, we've talked about the physical aspect of it. That's part of it, which she's come to. She's so used to that, and that affirms her, which is why she doesn't mind not wearing. You heard her just say just a minute ago, he still touches me when I don't have on any makeup. That's a natural thing for me. And so affirmation is one thing. I think another thing that goes under unnoticed and kind of flies under the radar where affirmation is concerned is protection.
Oh, yeah.
Women, you're talking about love language. When women feel protected, that's a love language to them. When they feel exposed, and I'm not only talking about physical protection, materialistic protection. How about emotional protection? When they feel protected, when they feel that their heart is protected, as well as their emotions are protected, that's love language to them. Because they don't feel exposed for whatever reason. I think that's a big deal as far as love language.
You know how your greatest need is respect.
Summer said the poetic Facebook posts.
Yes. He knows he knows I enjoy that, but I've never asked him to write those things. And sometimes it embarrasses me because some of the thoughts I've had when people dote over each other all the time on Facebook is like, what's the problem? Right. But let me go back. I want to make a point. You know, you need respect. I need somebody I can respect.
Right.
That is majorly important to me. Like I don't ever want somebody that I could disrespect. I want to be able to look at my husband, which I do, and respect every part about him. Yeah. I don't want to feel uncovered. And in those moments where we've had a few tiffs here and there that were probably bigger than others, not very many. And I've made the statement to you when we've come back together, I feel unprotected. My heart, and what I meant by that was my heart and my emotions. Because whatever he back in the early days would give the silent treatment because that was his form of protecting himself, he thought. That felt me that left me emotionally unprotected. And I'm thinking, and you have to be careful and root those things up because walls can come up.
Right.
And Tony, because I think what makes us work, and I think that sometimes we're better at this than others, but we're not selfish in our relationship and tried to meet each other's needs. I was not concerned. I've noticed sometimes if we've got a little bit off balance, it's been somebody's being selfish for something like you don't do this, you don't do that. Right. We've both done it. Absolutely. Okay. Very rarely and I look back at when our most successful time in the relationship is whenever I'm naturally meeting your needs because I love you and I want to meet your needs and you're meeting my needs. And then we're both fulfilled to the max. You know what I mean? So I don't remember where you were going with that, but I wanted to say that about wanting somebody that can respect. And I think men need to understand that. I respect Tony. There's things that we've talked about. Like I respect the fact that he's not lazy. He's one of the strongest men I know. You can ask my family. I respect that about you. I respect the fact that you get up and go to work every day. Nobody has to pull you out of bed. I respect that, and so I respect little things that.
Come on, Miss Monk.
What I draw the line with anyone, just yes, like and I respect the fact that I know that you have my best interest at heart at all times. I may want to bucket you just a little bit, like if I'm like I want to go to Walmart at 10:00 at night. Which I can't. I don't.
She's never done that.
Yeah. So, but if I want to, and I'm like, you can't tell me what to do. But in the moment, I feel I'm so grateful that my husband looks out for me. Yeah, we talked about this in Marriage Rocks.
By herself.
Marriage Rocks, where
every now and again, for whatever reason, it'll be something crazy where you'll be out after dark by yourself.
Yeah.
But that's so few far in.
Yeah.
No. She does not. She's
I'll get you in a second.
She's not going out at 9:30 and all that.
But I do, at the end of the day, really do respect that.
It'll never happen. It will never happen. Another thing you were talking about, you need someone to respect. Love language for a woman can be structure and leadership, because that's communicating to her that there's an aspect of the relationship that she doesn't have to control, that she doesn't have to be hands-on with, that she could leave that to the man, which is how it's supposed to be. Structure and leadership is a huge deal where love language is concerned in any relationship. I know some men don't know that and they don't understand that, but I need you men to hear me. Whoever's listening to this, if you're on here live or you're listening via replay, structure and leadership. That's love language to a woman.
Yes.
Because it makes her feel like she can now do and be who she's supposed to be as a woman, as that part of the relationship, that part of the equation, because she's not having to switch over into your lane and take control of this thing. Structure is a big thing with me. I love structure. She knows this, which is why I could be consistent, I'll let her say that about me. Consistency is one of the biggest things with me.
Okay, let's just put it out there. Sometimes I can't find my car keys. Okay.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
I know, but I'm going to put it out there because Sometimes, I mean, he puts his car keys in the same place every time. I have a million things in my mind, and I'm coming in with kids. Even when I didn't have kids, I would just put them somewhere and hope I remembered where they were.
That's one of the ways where I bring balance to her. She brings balance to me in so many ways. That's one of the ways that I bring balance to her.
But I respect the fact that whenever I lose my car keys and he's not home, I know exactly where I can find his and lose his. But
yeah, come on, sing the whole song.
No, but
find mine and lose those too.
Well, working on that. That's just the thing,
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. Structure and leadership. Now, she knows my love language. She already knows what that is.
Physical touch.
Physical touch.
Yeah,
baby.
I think everybody knows.
That's every man's. That's almost every man's.
Is that true, man? Is that your love language?
Physical touch. You won't find most. I don't know any man that'll say, "No, mine is emotional connection." I don't know any man that'll say that.
Maybe it is.
Maybe there is, but I don't know of any.
Yeah.
I don't know of any.
Maybe there is.
It's physical touch because to
which
us,
emotional connection is important. I mean, like you can't just touch them without it.
Absolutely, but men generally don't care about emotions. We care about the
physicality
of it. As we get older,
Sam,
we care.
That's my sister's friend, Sam.
As we get older, look at Myron. As we get older,
touch me 24/7.
That's right. See, as we get older,
healing. Oh my Lord.
As we get older, we care more, a little bit more. We care more about emotions,
and
not as much, but we do care more about them. But with men, it's all physical touch.
Yeah.
Because to us, that says that you are attracted to us.
Yeah.
That says that you want us. That says that you want to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
Which all of the things we crave, and all of that incorporates a level of respect. Because a woman's not gonna want to physically be with a man she doesn't respect.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
They go hand in hand.
That is true.
So it falls right into the compartment of respect. I feel respected when you want to touch me.
Miss Fee saying, yeah, but Fee's saying I'm hearing some different things here.
My honey's love language are words of affirmation. I listen.
Well, you're hearing Elder Carey said something.
Right. He says words of affirmation is primary, but touch me. Come on, sir.
Fee.
Come on. Preach. Touch.
That verse is very true. She knows.
Look at Monica. See, key is words of affirmation.
Wild touching.
Wild touching. Wild. Come on. Talk to me up in here. Talk to me. Every man's love language is physical. That's
Sam.
right.
That's right.
That's absolutely right. My man would say sexual healing.
And Tony likes to lay up next to me, and I get hot real fast, as you know.
Yeah.
We just got to be touching like our feet or something.
I want her touching me some kind of way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, physical touch is mine. Touching is always decent. and oh yes, sir.
People probably think we touch too much.
Touch.
Stephanie.
Bible says touch and agree.
Let me just pause right here. I think I've told my sister this, and I've told some other people in my life.
I
every
got
woman.
Yeah, you.
What did she say?
That's right.
Yeah, see, Mama, Miss Anita says yes, too hot. Tony's like a heater, all up on me, like.
It's because I want to be touched.
Wanting to spoon and stuff.
I'm hot and bothered. I want to be touched.
I know, but I can't spoon with him because he snores so bad. Like I have to have him on his stomach. Like,
we ain't gonna be able to get through all these.
No, there's no way. Well, that'll be next week.
Yeah, we'll have to finish.
We've already probably been on here too long, but I'm actually enjoying it.
We can stop right here. We've talked about 4 things. We talked about communication. Talked about what could start a fight. We talked about culture and background and this love language. We probably need to stop here and save the rest.
Yeah,
for next
we'll stop
week.
Here.
Yeah. Love language. Yeah, absolutely. Tim says, touch. Oh, please touch me. I feel the spirit tonight. Just one take. Well, who was that had the song back in the day? Just a touch.
I need to say something because I was saying something. And
Go ahead,
lost
baby.
train of thought. I've told my sister this, and I've told my friends, like, let me just say, I'll talk to my sister about this. I will say to her, like, and I've told my niece, every woman deserves to have a man love them the way Tony loves me, because I'm very secure in you. There may be things that irritate us about each other, but I'm secure in our relationship.
You've just, I don't want to toot my own horn.
Oh, yeah,
but you always say you've always felt secure.
I have.
Yeah. Why is that?
Okay. Am I supposed to toot your horn?
Yes, this is your turn.
Okay. If my brothers are watching,
Miss Monica.
You said.
Miss Mama Nita.
This is how we are.
Mushroom jacket.
What was it?
It's a boomerang. Talking about Gerard's daddy with the mushroom jacket. Go ahead.
Anyway, I think women, I just want to publicly say that, and that whenever he posts anything about me, which he has, and sometimes it embarrasses me, it does a lot embarrass me, but I appreciate it so much, because that Tony Mustin don't do anything without really feeling like it, really feeling it. It's not fake. It is genuine. And there's been times don't get me wrong. This. You may have seen the 25 things I love about my wife post, which I need to go out and read those sometimes. But there's been times here recently we may have been in a little tiff.
Bring it up.
And I'll pull that post up and I'll say, but you said I was this. Well, were you lying then? Because I know he don't lie. That's something he's not going to do. And I don't know. To know Tony is to know him and to love him.
You're supposed to say that about Jesus.
I love Jesus.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to talk about this stuff more next week.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be sad when it's over. I am a sucker for Valentine's Day. I love everything about it. I love the colors.
Valentine's.
I love it. I have loved it.
Got to make sure you say Valentine's with an N, not an M, okay. Not Time, not Valentine's. Valentine's.
I've always loved it. I love the color combination. I've had parties for my nieces and nephews. My dad used to send us little roses to school. I mean, and I hadn't always had a Valentine per se, but I just love it.
Yeah.
And we show love to each other every day. And I know people say, why do we have to wait one time a year? It's not. It's just a fun holiday. I want my girls to appreciate it. So much so that I didn't want them born on Valentine's Day, because I wanted them to be able to celebrate the holiday. I love it. I'm just a sucker for that. Everything about it.
Man, that's it. That's it for now. We've got.
Thanks for staying with us
several
tonight.
Other things to talk about.
Girl, it's all over.
I just knew we weren't going to get to this.
Summer knows.
Thank you, Miss Sharon. Thank you so much.
I hadn't been looking at these comments. I need to look.
Yeah. Timmy G. Yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday night. Tim, it's been good to see you. We'll be back next Tuesday night for the same.
Yeah.
At the same time, we've got several other things
Monica.
to talk about. Several other things.
I learn every time we're in Marriage Rocks. I love it. I know
they're checking on us.
They're right here.
They've been in here like 5 times.
They've been trying. Our baby's been asleep for an hour, but the other two, they're fine. They're not going to school tomorrow, so we've already got the day planned out. I mean, I'm assuming they're not. I wasn't going to take them, but I think we just got a phone call.
Thank you, Mama Nita.
What's she saying? Oh, awesome.
Pray for us.
You don't know. We talk about relationships.
I got you.
I have a perspective of an elder.
I'm hungry.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And so we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes. That's more than enough time. So
yeah.
I'll see y'all Saturday morning. We'll see y'all
next you, Mom.
Tuesday night.
Love you too, Mom.
With another
I love you too.
Special session.
She says she loves you.
In this vein. Yes, ma'am. Miss Carolyn.
Yeah. I hope you guys, I know we are just 4 years into this marriage situation.
Carrie. Love you too, son.
Hopefully we can help some. I always learn by listening to people.
We coming your way, bro. Listening? To the dirty.
Who?
Myron.
Oh yeah, Myron. We're planning a trip to come see you guys.
We're getting to come to Philly too.
Yeah. I do want to go. I do want to go because I need to see all the Rocky stuff. I'm a big Rocky buff. Rocky Balboa.
Oh, the statue and all that stuff. All right, we're getting boring.
Okay,
now.
yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll see y'all Saturday morning. We'll see y'all next Tuesday night. Until then, we are out.
Thank you. Bye.